Okay, guys, maybe all of you can mute yourself now. Okay, this would be 2 hours class, Saturday and Sunday, okay, per weekend. And we will be following up F5 ASM, all of the syllabus, okay. And if you still wanted to check out the syllabus, maybe you just go on www.netminion.net, and from there over the F5 LTM, if you scroll down the page in the bottom, there is a link with download link. You just click over there and the syllabus will be appear in front of you. You can just download it for your reference. Rest, whatever we would be doing, we will be recording each and everything. You guys will be having the recording also. Okay. Secondly, we will be performing the labs as well. Okay. And labs and theory will be running hand in hand. Those who are my old student, you are already aware how we teach. But those who are joining us the first time, for those I am just explaining, we would be having 5 to 10 minutes of break in between. Rest, there would be 2 hours class ideally, but it can be maybe 5-10 minutes up or down as per the topics. Okay. So without further delay, maybe I would be.
Do we get access to ASM lab?
Yes, every one of you will get the access for the ASM lab. Okay. And please perform all of the things within your timings. You would be getting, if I'm not wrong, 45 days, 30 hours. Okay. And those are more than enough. Whatever timing we are providing, please complete all of your tasks within that. Either your lab hours are expiring or the lab days are expiring, it will be considered as expired. Okay. So that is one thing. You please take care about your lab. Okay. Please create your access as by Monday. Maybe our team will get it created for you guys. So please check it before maybe joining next weekend session. Okay. So please go through the lab access. If you have any doubt, Joy is there to help. Our team is there to help. Okay. They will send you all of the videos what are required. So please go through those videos. And meanwhile, when we will be going through our class today, I will be showing you about the lab as well, how to access, how not. Okay. So maximum of you are already aware that we are using the Pnet software for our on the NetMinion server. And Pnet software, you need to sign up over here. And how to sign up, what is the link, that all of the details you will get. But you need to go and sign up over there. Once you will be logging, I am directly logging because I am on the server LAN. Okay. So I am just going with the IP 192.168, but you will be having some another way. But rest things are same. So just I am putting the captcha, giving the username and password. Please use a Firefox in your case. Okay. And if Chrome is not working, if Chrome is working, that is perfectly fine. So you will be having one lab. Okay. Another screen. Okay. This lab will get appear in front of you. Okay. What you need to do is just right click, start it, right click, start it, right click, start it, and right click, start this. You have total 1, 2, 3, 4 components in the lab, which you need to get started in when you have the lab. One component, if you will see over here, this is your Windows machine, from where everyone you will go for the management access. Okay. We need to design this topology as such. I will be telling about this topology, how to design from the scratch. Don't worry. Okay. But just as an overview, I am telling you, you need to design your topology as such. First, you need to go to F5, ask for the trial keys, ask for trial keys. When I am putting this point number 1, anyone who has not done this part, please ask me. I will repeat. If no, I will skip this part. This is the, by the way, this is the part of syllabus. But if you guys are really comfortable, you can do it by your own. Or you want a quick, overview, I can give. Maybe I will give later on. Don't worry, I will give. So you need to go for ask for a trial keys. Once you have a trial keys, you can access the 3 keys from one email ID in one go. Okay. One key is valid for 30 days. 3 keys means 3 into 30. It will be valid for 90 days. But be remember, after 30 days, your license will get expired. You need to follow the same step. It will hardly take maybe 5 minutes. Okay. Again, after 30 days. And from one email ID, you can raise these keys request 3 times. It means total keys will be 3 into 3 equal to 9. And you can be having the keys for the 90 days, it means. Okay. So it is the way like key you need to get generated from the F5 REST. Resources are provided to you. Resources are good enough so that your ASM box with your LTM can work. Those people who wanted to create your own lab on your machine, okay, for them, let me tell you, I am using F5 hacking website. Okay, I am using F5 machine, or maybe we can say the VM. Okay, same you can create over the VMware. If your laptop supported maybe more than 12 GB of RAM. Okay, if it is 16 GB, that would be great, but 12 GB at least you should have, so that your lab should work perfectly without any hustle and bustle. Okay, how to set up for your laptop, that I cannot tell you in this class, but since multiple of my students are asking for this, what I can do, I am not committing now, but whenever I will get time, I will create a video. Okay, take the snapshot, create a workbook for you. Again, I am not committing for anything when I can do it because of office and all of those stuff. I am I am also working as a corporate employee, so I do require some time. If I would be able to have some time, I would be definitely creating this, how to create it on your laptop, and I will give these videos to all of you. Okay, but that is a separate thing. First, you will be having all of you will be having the access of this our lab, okay, through the cloud. If you have internet, it is 24/7 accessible. You just go over the internet, how to access. Again, those videos you will receive, those documents you will receive. Please follow those documents before next weekend. Get prepared your lab, check your lab properly. Okay, now what I was saying, it has 4 components. One is the Windows machine. This thing which we are representing as the DMG zone, this is nothing but the switch. Okay, Cisco switch. I hope everyone should be aware about it. This switch has some of the ports. You can see one port, the very first port, is the management port. Okay, if we check the second port is just taking the external VLAN traffic. I hope everyone is aware about external VLAN, internal VLAN, because you guys are already worked on, LTM. And the last one is your internal VLAN. Similarly, this hacking website is on the internal VLAN. Now, what is our duty? Our duty is, first, all of these port setup should be done properly so that we can check out the access of my NetMinion ASM box through the management box. Secondly, I would be creating a VIP on the external IP, and nodes for the internal IP. So on F5 box, our duty is, we need to create the VLANs, we need to create the self IPs, okay, and we need to create later on VIPs. Maybe we are just creating the HTTP and HTTPS, and the reason being, your ASM box or ASM is mitigating the vulnerability on layer 7 applications. It means, in any case, you require the HTTP or HTTPS profile. Okay, I hope everyone is on the same page so far. So this is our first thing. We need to license it. We need to provisioning for the module. Okay, ASM module, LTM module, these two modules we need to provision. Please do remember, do not provision any other module. Otherwise, your lab, maybe you will feel like that it has the legacy and you are not able to do your work properly. So your resources are given or provided as such that LTM and ASM should work very efficiently. Nobody complained so far. Okay, it will work, but do not go for some other modules for your practice. Okay, you cannot do that. Otherwise, your lab will not work properly, and again you need to reprovision. Okay, so that is one thing. Second thing about this website, as I told you, same website you can get from the F5 if you want the pages or the download buttons, download information. Surely I will look into that and I can give you. If you guys are looking for your home lab, I can provide you that. That is again free of cost from F5. Okay, so this is a website. The framework is designed on PHP. So on to this website, we will open it through the VIP so that our F5 will come into the picture when we are accessing through our management PC. Okay, so how our traffic will go? The traffic will first reach to the ASM, and then from ASM, it will reach to the website. And similarly, the reverse connection would be provided. Our ASM website traffic will be going to the ASM box. From ASM box, it will be going to the management PC, or we can say to the user. So this is representing a user as well. Now, when we are creating a VIP, it means logically traffic is going through ASM box, and we can perform a lot of attacks on this website. Okay, it is not limited to this, but I am just giving some name, maybe SQL injection. Okay, I hope some of you guys are not were not into my demo session where I just told you that injection attacks are not limited to SQL injection only. These attacks are more than SQL injection, Java injection, PHP injection, LDAP injection, lot of injections there. Okay, but SQL injection usually why we refer is because SQL is a language of love of database. Okay, we will be talking about that. Don't worry. When our class will start, just I am giving you a flyby overview. So when our class will start, we will be starting from the very basic zero. Okay, although you have the knowledge or no, I will treat it as that you don't have knowledge for any of the thing on the application. So I would be starting from the zero. Don't worry. So either we need to perform SQL injection, either we need to perform maybe XSS cross-site scripting, either maybe we need to provide the brute force protection or brute force attack, maybe we need to go for, or maybe parameter hampering, or more and more things we will be, whatever things we need to do, we will be performing that, all of the attacks through this PC and through this lab. And almost all of the things we would be able to achieve through this lab. If one or two things we are not able to go with, maybe that is little bit advanced, which is not supported over here. But I am considering that you will be having the enough attacks which we can perform over here without any hustles and puzzles. Okay, so that is all about this lab. Okay, because Rishi asked for the lab, so I just talking about the lab, that what we will be getting in the lab. Okay, before starting, I am just introducing myself also. I am Radhe Verma. Okay, I teach CCI Enterprise, F5, Python. Okay, don't teach some of the courses, but maybe in future about the security and Nexus part. Okay, and I have total 16 years plus of experience in the corporate. Okay, so this is my brief introduction, and maybe we can now start up with our today's class. So you would feel like maybe if you people are aware, maybe that is fine and good. Okay, if not aware, maybe you will learn something new. So I am starting again, as I told you, from zero, so that everyone should be on the same page.
Yeah, sorry, quick one. How do we access the link you talked about just now?
Which link?
The
The lab.
cloud.
Lab, we will guide you. Don't worry. Every one of you will be having each and every information. Okay, by Monday. Monday EOD, you will get each and every information.
Okay.
Okay, so it depends. Whosoever has cleared your dues and all of the things, that is not a correct platform over talking over here, but whosoever has done with that, okay, maybe Joya and the team will follow up and will provide you each and everything. Don't worry. Okay, so let me start with the class. If you have any doubt, you are free to talk about that, but I would suggest, if that topic is running, that the topic get complete first. Maybe your answers are coming in some time. So please wait for some time and note it down somewhere. And once that topic is get completed, maybe before closing out this class, you can ask about your all of the doubts. So let me share the slide. So all of we are aware that WAF, there are multiple of the WAF in the market, as people were talking about the Imperva, if I'm not wrong, right? Imperva is there, and a lot of other WAFs are there, right? So give me a minute. One is talking about the fact I don't have hands-on with LTM. Okay, Fazil, if you don't have hands-on with LTM, don't worry again. Okay, I will be teaching, when I am teaching about F5 ASM, whatever the parts that are required for ASM, I will explain them. Not all of the LTM topics again, but whatever parts we required for ASM, I am explaining about that. Okay, and that is what I was talking about, that either you have the experience or no. I would be starting from zero. Okay. So I was talking that WAF is Web Application Firewall. All of we are aware. And F5 WAF, which is a module named as ASM, Application Security Manager. Okay. This is your Application Security Manager, which act as the layer 7 firewall between your servers and between the clients. It will come into the picture and will prevent a lot of attacks. How we will be checking out each and every attack later on. If you talk about the traditional firewalls, those also do the great job without any issues, but those traditional firewalls are layer 3, maybe layer 4, and now onwards, maybe if we see about the Palo Alto and all of these things, they support till layer 7 as well. But attack signatures which are there in Palo Alto and attack signatures which are there in F5 ASM, again, if you guys are not aware about attack signature, don't worry. You can just consider it as a bit like ACLs. Okay, so for now, maybe. Okay, so attack signatures of ASM is really robust, really good. Okay, so this module is very powerful, and I will say effective tool for defending the layer 7 application. And we are aware that world is getting digital, and each and everywhere where the compliance is required. If I'm not wrong, you people were there into the demo or no, we talked about a lot of compliance like HIPAA, HIPAA, okay, and PCI DSS. We will be talking about these compliance later on, don't worry, but just an overview. So these kind of compliance also can be worked, or can be we can say achieved, okay, through the ASM box, through the security policies which we will be gonna create in our classes. So that is your F5 WAF. Very important question with respect to interview also, that for WAF, one thing that is prerequisite is layer 7 profile. When I am saying about layer 7 profile, it means HTTP profile. So we should be having HTTP when the layer 7 WAF is required. Whenever you need to put about the WAF, whenever you need to use the WAF, you should be have a HTTP profile. Here I am just giving you overview that F5 Networks is a company. This is company name. It has some kind of product name as BIG-IP. Again, it has BIG-IP also. It has different other, products also, and GINX maybe. But here we are talking about BIG-IP products. When we are talking about BIG-IP products, again, this product range is so much, okay, which we can check easily onto our screen. So if we talk about this range, you can see that we have somewhere local traffic manager, LTM. We have something global traffic manager. The new name is DNS, link controller, APM, ASM, edge gateway, web accelerator, and a lot of other things. Okay, all of the modules, no doubt. If I will, not consider couple of them into the picture, but rest all of the modules really doing very good job in the market. And they are the demanding modules, including your application security manager. Those who are in India and maybe outside of the India also, outside of India, maybe Rishi, you can confirm me, and maybe Rizwan, you can confirm me from Saudi, and Rishi from the US. Okay, what is the market? So is this the market player or no? What about the jobs in the ASM? I hope in the India it is, market player, most demanding, and I hope so there also it should be leading, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's correct.
Okay, thank you. So again, as I was telling, this is your BIG-IP product, and we will be talking about ASM. One common myth, which is again partially true, that if I need to go for ASM, should I know about LTM or no? So if you are aware about LTM, that is well and very good. If you are not, then at least you should be having the knowledge of couple of the things, like what is pool, okay, what is node, what is VIP, what is maybe LTP, and what else, what is SNAT. Maybe these 4 or 5 points you should be aware about. Okay, these are the good to learn about if you are not having the knowledge. Again, I would be telling about these points into our classes. And apart from this, lot of other things which we are having in the LTM, maybe we can learn separately, but these points you should be having the knowledge when we are covering ASM. But if you have the complete knowledge of LTM, that is really fantastic, and that would be helping you when you are performing the labs. Okay. So we were talking about the BIG-IP ASM, and again, as I am telling you, when you are applying BIG-IP ASM, okay, this is your F5, which is having the LTM and ASM module both. Okay, whatever VIP you are creating, for those who are not aware about VIP is some kind of, you can say, the entry point. Okay, by default your LTM will not listen to anything. You need to tell that, okay, you need to listen at which IP, which port. So that is known as VIP, or maybe we can say virtual server. Okay, so you need to create a virtual server. Onto those virtual servers, something, because F5 is so scalable, you can use from layer 1 to layer 7. So onto your virtual server, there is something known as profiles. You need to tell through profiles what kind of traffic will be arrived on virtual server. Maybe if you are creating layer 4 fast performance, so it means we are telling to our virtual server that, okay, only layer 4 traffic is coming, either maybe TCP or UDP, that is a separate thing. Okay, but if we are just creating the layer 3 VIP, it means only layer 3 packet is coming. But when we are applying some kind of HTTP profile, it means that our traffic, which is coming onto the virtual server, is the layer 7 traffic. That is a way like we tell, okay, in layman term, if I will say. So profiles are the configuration objects which used to tell that what kind of traffic we will be getting onto our virtual server from the clients. That is a way. Okay. So for this module, your VIP should be having HTTP profile. And usually in interviews, people ask, okay, such kind of question that, okay, I am creating a security policy, but I cannot see the virtual server where I need to apply. Later on, you will see like how we can apply a virtual server when we are creating the security policy. Later on, we will also see that if security policy is created, we can apply that or associate that to the virtual server on VIP security section as well. So if we don't have the HTTP profile, it will not be visible. And that is a tricky question that, okay, I am not able to see it. What should I do? So the thing is, have you applied the HTTP profile or no? That is the way to check that either you have worked on F5 WAF or no. Okay, so that is the way. Now, all of you who are from LTM classes, my LTM classes, you have maximum of people were into my LTM classes also, where we talked about two type of packet flow. One is packet-based design, which is maybe throughout your networking section, you have gone through such kind of things, right? So if you have a router or switch, maybe this is a user, this is a switch, or maybe a router, doesn't matter. Okay, this is your server. Whenever this traffic comes, it is destined for server. Request will go to the server, and server will send the response to the PC. Such kind of design is known as packet-based design or packet-based architecture, where your device is doing the routing or routing, whatever you say, doing the switching, but it is not intervening. It is not the endpoint. This is not the endpoint. Okay. The endpoint is your server only. So it means it is packet-based design. Again, if you talk about F5, F5 is not adhering to your packet-based design. Again, there are some clause, okay, but currently we are talking about WAF, and in WAF, I can say yes. If you are not using SSL offloading, it means you cannot go with your web application security protections. For that, SSL offloading should be there. And if you required SSL offloading, it means you required full proxy design. So what is full proxy? We will come to that. First, just try to understand about this point, that when your endpoint is not in between, it means it is only a way to send the traffic from source to the destination. This kind of scenario is known as packet-based design. So a network device with a packet-based design is located in the middle. Okay, it is checking the stream of your communication. It's not the endpoint. It is just passing out those packets from one place to another. And when I will be talking about full proxy, in a minute, I will be talking about the full proxy. Okay, when I am talking about the full proxy means when some device is coming in between, it will be becoming as the endpoint. How? So just let me tell you. Let us say, again, we are considering the same thing, but this time I am just having the F5 WAF. This time, when traffic is coming, endpoint will be F5. F5 will stop this packet. When F5 will stop this packet, what are the use? Why it stopped the packet in the middle? It is the endpoint. And will reinitiate this packet again on the behalf of user. And similarly, in the reverse connection also. Your PC is not aware either it is talking to the F5 or eventually the application answer is given by the servers. It is not aware. And what is the use of that? Anybody who is aware about F5 LTM? Why we require such kind of thing? Why we require full proxy?
For SSL decryption.
One thing is SSL encryption and decryption will happen. That is right. Okay. That is a maybe we can say that is a base. But why we require it?
For traffic reshaping.
Traffic reshaping.
To monitor HTTPS traffic.
Yeah. Right.
Traffic behavior like profiles.
It's for secure NAT for security. You need that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main reason, I guess.
Right. So all of you are on the right thing.
I think we can categorize the traffic based upon the full proxy itself.
That's true. Now, by doing so, what we can achieve is we can achieve a lot of things. Let me tell you about that. So here you can see this is the part of LTM. Again, we are not on the F5 ASM yet. Okay, this is a purely part of LTM only. So when we are talking about such kind of design, it means our full proxy design, the TCP connection will be happened with the client to the F5 and from the F5 to the server. So there are two connections. One connection is from the client to the F5. Second connection is from F5 to the server, backend server. So there are two connections. What is the requirement for that? What we can achieve? We can achieve a couple of the things. First, we can view and modify the traffic behavior. Again, I am talking with respect to LTM currently. Okay, with respect to ASM, let me tell you, if you are not able to view the traffic, how you can mitigate the vulnerabilities. You cannot check either the traffic is legitimate or illegitimate. So in any case, you need to view the traffic. If you cannot view, you cannot modify that traffic. You cannot stop the illegitimate traffic. Okay. So for that, you need to view the traffic. And for that, you need to be having full proxy design. But if I will talk about with respect to LTM, we can say that it doesn't matter either one side is IPv4 or IPv6 and server maybe, are working on IPv6. This side client is working on IPv4. Such kind of design is possible due to full proxy design. Client side, you are using the compression profile, but server side, you don't want to put the compression profile. You don't want that your server do compression, decompression. You don't want to use such kind of resources on your server, or maybe vice versa. So in that case also, you can use full proxy design. One very important thing is SSL kind of stuff. Okay, I will be talking about this SSL stuff in a while on my whiteboard. I will be giving you some overview about that. Okay, so SSL offloading is required for ASM. Then layer 7 data, if it is coming, we can modify, and we can modify using the I role, maybe using different profiles, maybe using the persistence also. So those are the separate things. Again, the LTM part, we can do, or we can able to achieve these parts. Why? Because our F5 can work as a full proxy architecture. One interview question for all of you. In what case F5 don't behave as full proxy? Anyone?
In layer 4 profile, one of the.
Yes. So if you are using L4 profile, it is not using as full proxy. Secondly, what is SSL pass-through?
SSL pass-through is nothing but the connection from the big IP to the server is also encrypted.
So it means you are not using full proxy in that case as well, right? You are just passing the connections.
It's basically the traffic is just passing through the big IP from the user
Yes.
to the server.
Yes. So let me now give you the overview about that. So this is your client. From client, traffic will go to the F5. I'm just writing down F5. You please do understand when I am writing down F5, it is LTM currently. Okay. Later on, when our ASM class will start, because this is today's is the basic class. So I am just talking about the LTM stuff. Later on, when I am writing down F5, you just understand that that is your ASM. So from your client, your traffic is coming to the F5. Everyone is aware we cannot use HTTP. If we are using only HTTP, first thing, it is sending the traffic in the plain text. So any man in middle attack can happen, which is not good. Every traffic is the plain text traffic. Anybody can read about that. So the solution is we used to provide encryption or secure connection using HTTPS. Okay. When you are having HTTPS, it means you are carrying a certificate. Into that certificate, there is a private key and there is a public key. Private key you need to import over here on the F5. Again, I will be telling about these things when I am creating the lab from the scratch. From the zero, I will create the lab, don't worry. Okay. So you need to import that certificate over here so that when your client traffic is coming, this client traffic is coming with the certificate, with the public key, which you are decrypting through your private key. This kind of thing is known as SSL offloading. You are offloading the SSL part. And in the second part, because this is into your data center, it is within your data center. And you guys are saying that, okay, within my data center, the traffic can be plain. This can be plain HTTP traffic. This is one part, okay, which can be used for your ASM. Now I am considering about the ASM. So you can either use SSL offloading for the ASM. Second thing, what you can use, F5 client is coming. This is your server. Your compliance are very strict. So from here to here, of course, the traffic will be HTTPS, but you want, when F5 will generate the second session, it should be again HTTPS. So in that case, you need to use client profile and you need to use server profile as well. Okay. But let me tell you, your F5 will also do decryption. So your packet, which is coming through or coming to F5 is the encrypted, and within F5, it is readable. Your F5 can open it. Your F5 can check that what is the content of that traffic. Post that, if the request is legitimate, it is fine. There are no issues with the request. It will be sending the traffic to the backend server. And again, when it is sending the traffic, it would be HTTPS. So it will be applying the certificate again. So using what? Using the server profile. Okay. What is this known as? Anybody?
Pass-through?
No.
SSL bridging.
Yeah. So this is SSL bridging. Pass-through means, so this is for your ASM. Okay. For ASM, you can have SSL offloading. Okay. Maybe let me just create everything again in very short picture so that you don't have any issue. Offloading. In SSL offloading, client is sending the traffic to F5. F5 is sending to the server. From here to here, it is HTTPS. From here to here, it is HTTP. Then I talked about SSL bridging. In SSL bridging, your client is sending the traffic to F5. F5 is sending to the server. From here to here, it is HTTPS. From here to here, again, it is HTTPS. And the third one, which I talked about, SSL pass-through. SSL pass-through, client is sending the traffic through the F5 to the server, end-to-end HTTPS. Your F5 is not end point. Please be remember, ASM cannot work over here.
Radhe?
Yep.
So basically, as through is it bypasses the F5. It's just a direct connection between the client and the web server, right?
Yes, because
Right.
you are not doing
bypass-
decrypting. You are not decrypting.
There's no proxy. In pass-through, there's no proxy.
Sorry.
The pass-through, there's no proxy, right? It's just going
Right.
from to the server, passing through without
Right.
bypasses the F5 load balancers,
That's true. That's
right?
true.
Directly going from the client to the web server, it doesn't use the F5 as a full proxy. It bypasses the F5 and connects a direct connection between the client and the web server. Simple.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interview question also, please do remember. Okay. So there are two interview questions I have already discussed. And with respect to your troubleshooting also,
Hello.
these are, yes, Rizwan, go ahead.
Yeah, load balancing will be do, right?
Yep.
Pass-through means it will do load balancing, but it will
Yep.
not do the encryption decryption, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Fine. Thanks.
Okay. So for your ASM, you can have SSL offloading, you can have SSL bridging, you cannot have SSL pass-through. So if someone is using a security policy over here, and they are saying that your ASM box is not blocking the illegitimate request, what is the issue? What is the cause? Then one of you should be checked that, okay, it should not be SSL pass-through. In SSL pass-through, neither the client side profile is required, neither the server side profile is required. Or even if you don't apply the HTTP, that will also work. How does it know whether it is HTTP traffic or not? So that is your SSL pass-through. Again, LTM part, pure LTM part, but I am giving you overview because people should be aware about these small things. These small mistakes should not be happened into your.
One small doubt I have. In pass-through, you still have load balancing, right?
Yes.
Okay. But in pass-through, what happens is that F5 doesn't come in the middle, right?
F5 is not the endpoint, right?
Endpoint. It doesn't come in the middle. So the F5 is not coming in the middle. It's not acting as a full proxy.
Right.
F5 is there. It can load balance, but it's not acting as a full proxy.
Bit like your performance L4. You can just consider about your performance L4.
So there is a direct connection between the client to the web server, which is encrypted. There is no F5 is not doing the encryption decryption.
Yep.
Client is directly connecting the web server, and directly you have HTTPS encryption decryption between the client and the web server, bypassing the F5. So there's no proxy in F5 in this scenario. In pass-through, there's no proxy.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So we talked about full proxy design, and I hope everyone should be on the same page. There should not be any issue with anyone. If you have, you can ask questions. Otherwise, let me proceed it up. Any question from anyone? Okay. Now let us talk about the applications. So usually, whatever application we access, okay, it may have more than these components, but these three components are basically there in any of the application. One is web server. So whenever your web application, you are opening any web application, as I'm telling you, there can be these three components: web server, application server, and the database server. So when client is interacting with any of the application through HTTP or maybe through HTTPS. Okay. So when you are sending such kind of traffic that is hitting to your web server directly, web server will accept this, fulfill your request, okay, and will send the static, maybe we can say, content, which is predefined, you can say, like HTML page, like a couple of the files which are stored over there, different of images, maybe some videos are there. So those are the things which are provided by the web server, and web server handle your HTTP request directly for the client. But when there are some kind of business logics appeared in your application, or maybe some dynamic content is required, okay, then your application server will come into the picture. So your application server is one, which is, maybe you can say, a software framework that transform the data and provide some kind of specialized functionality offered by your business, or maybe offered by your application, or maybe offered by your server, or maybe any of the service, we can say. So this is something which is enhancing the interactive parts of the website, okay, and it depend upon website to website, either you are using the application server or not. Then database, whenever we are talking about database, it means when we need to save some information from the client, any information. So you need to store it somewhere. That is where database comes into the picture. Now, why I am discussing about these parts? Your web server is vulnerable. Your application server is also vulnerable. Your database server is also vulnerable. Each and every part of your website is vulnerable. And that is how through F5 ASM or through F5 WAF, we need to mitigate the these vulnerabilities. Okay. So that we will be checking out. This slide is again talking about the same thing, why ASM is required. So attackers are exploiting the vulnerabilities in the web application with the aim of maybe disrupting your service, maybe stealing the data, maybe manipulating the data, and number of things, okay, with maybe wrong intent, I will say. Their F5 WAF is your intermediary system, which is positioned where? In between the client and your application. So in between your client and application, F5 is the one which is checking out each and every request. So WAF is the one which will inspect, we can say inspect or monitor. Ingress also, egress traffic. It will be checking both ingress and egress web application traffic for some kind of, maybe we can say, malicious patterns, or maybe anomaly behavior, or maybe some harmful, traffic. If detected, your WAF will not send this request further to your web server. No, it will not send. What it will do? It will generate a violation. It will trigger a violation and send maybe, for now, how I say, a number which is known as support ID. Okay, later on you will be able to understand about this, but currently maybe you can just talk about a number. It will say which is representing that, okay, your request is violated and it is blocked on the WAF end. And customer, usually, if you will be an WAF engineer, you can relate what I am telling. Customers used to come to you that, okay, I am having this support ID, why it is coming, if it is a legitimate, you need to check, okay, it is using SQL injection, maybe. They will say, okay, our request is, true, it should be passed through. So you need to tell that, okay, give me the application approval, owner approval, If application approval is coming, again, you will be going through the change process. I am not going to that process part, and you can open that thing after application approval, and after putting them that, okay, what kind of risk such kind of request, if you are allowing, what kind of request risk can be there. So if you are open to those risks, we can go ahead and we can like create such kind of rules. So you can say WAF is nothing but it is a rule, combination of rules, or maybe let me give you the reference of the ACL. So you guys are aware about ACL, if I'm not wrong. So what is ACL? In your networking field, access control list are the rules that, okay, this thing is permitted, this thing is permitted, this thing is permitted, this thing is denied, this thing is permitted. Such kind of rules are there. So on the basis of traffic, on the interface where you are applying, or maybe some control plane, if you are applying it, it will just check the request, and it will see that if this request is permitting through these rules or getting denied with these rules, or there is some kind of implicit deny in the last, implicit deny. Okay, so it will be get implicit deny if nothing permit rule is permitting this kind of traffic. Bit like that. When you are creating a security policy, on your policy on WAF, that is nothing but some very robust rules. Okay, later on we will be talking about those rules, but just for time being, you can just think about that it is the rules. If rule number 1 is saying okay, 2 is saying okay, all are saying okay, this is okay, this is adhering to the end operation. If one of the rule is saying it is not okay, it will just generate the violation, and it will give that support ID to the customer. Any question? No?
So security policy is like ACLs, is it?
Mhm.
Permit and deny the traffic.
Yep.
Okay. What is SQL injection again?
We will come. Don't worry.
Okay.
This is the part.
Sir, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Now that we are speaking about WAF policing and all, ASM, it could be F5 or Imperva for past few years. Like earlier, what it was? We had only layer 3 firewalls which were blocking the traffic. What was it replacing? I mean, now that we have WAF, what was it before?
Don't worry.
Is that intrusion prevention?
Again, an advanced question. Okay, we will gradually talk about those things. Okay, when we will be checking out that what are the ASM attack signatures, what is maybe request length, what is maybe response headers, what is maybe different items, different entities. When we talk about those, you will get this answer that how this is different from layer 3 or layer 4 firewall.
No, I'm not asking about layer 3, layer 4. I'm asking about now we have WAF on layer 7. Earlier, what was there like WAF? What has replaced something now had become WAF? You know what I'm saying? Like, was there any product?
There were the firewalls only. There were
only firewalls. There was nothing.
There were the firewalls only. But on the top of that, the WAF come into the picture, which is much advanced than your layer 4 firewall, and it introduced the layer 7 thing. Bit like earlier, there was the routers only, and on the routers you used to apply some kind of ACLs or different things, but those are not as compatible with your firewalls, but your firewalls come into the picture. Then firewalls are not compatible with your WAF, but again your WAF is more providing the more security rather than your firewalls. Later on, you will check that, okay, if you will talk about IPS, IDS, maybe some kind of another solutions are there for your DOS attack, for your DDoS attack. There are a lot of technologies, okay, from the riverbed also, from different vendors. So when we are talking about WAF is just, created with the like thinking in the mind that, okay, it is robust layer 7 attack prevention. It is preventing the layer 7 attacks. Let's continue. So we were talking about WAF, okay, why ASM is required. So I was talking about it is not monitoring only ingress or the but monitoring the egress, your traffic as well. Then, as I was talking about, ASM will help you to ensure the compliance, like HIP, if I'm not wrong, HIPAA, or maybe your PCI DSS. So such kind of compliance, you can get the insurety using the ASM. So these are very important compliance, and these are very much required whenever you have some kind of, maybe you can say you are securing the application which is maintaining the credit card data. So you should be having the PCI DSS kind of stuff. If there is some kind of health related regulations, you should be having the HIPAA. Okay, so these are the things which are required for your ASM. Again, we will be learning about OAuth top 10. Okay, I gave the overview in the demo as well, but we will be having a complete class on OAuth top 10. Don't worry, I will be talking from first OAuth top 10 list to the last OAuth top 10, maybe tomorrow or day, maybe in next weekend. Depends how our class is working on. Okay, so we will be checking about OAuth top 10 rules. Okay, so these are the things you can achieve through the ASM. You can maintain the compliance. Then you can have some kind of policies which are pre-built, maybe related to your OA policies. So these are very well-known applications. So for these well-known applications, already some policies are there for your application. If these policies are suitable for your application, you need not to go for traffic learning. Why traffic learning is required, that we will be maybe talking about later on, don't worry. Okay, but you need to wait before putting your security policy into the blocking mode. Okay, so just let me give you an overview that your security policy can be into blocking mode or can be into transparent mode. Transparent mode means that your traffic is going through the F5. F5 is able to learn about it, but it will not do anything. So that is the thing, guys, where your F5 ASM is required. And these security policies are required where you need to build the security policy gradually, eventually, okay, for your virtual server to get it secured. Okay, there are a lot of things which we need to learn, but currently, as I am telling you, I am preparing your foundation. I am preparing your maybe you can say building blocks, that before ASM, what are the prerequisites you need to think about and what are the things you need to be taking into the considerations. Okay, so any questions so far regarding the SSL profile? I hope, Rishi, you are clear with?
Fine. What is private key and public key?
You are the LTM, you have the LTM part clear, right? So if you remember, in case of F5 administrator or LTM administrator, I will say, when you generate a certificate, you create a CSR, certificate signing request. When you are creating a certificate signing request, key will generate automatically. That is a private key. And in CSR, there are a lot of attributes like what is the common name, what is the SAN, what are maybe different things. What is the encryption, username, password, what kind of, age, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, bit like that. Okay. And you need to give this CSR to your CA. And that CA will give you a certificate. And you need to import that certificate over here, right? Whosoever has that certificate, that have a public key. And when it is coming to the LTM, Since your LTM has already private key, it can decrypt that certificate.
Okay. So the when you okay. So the certificate sending request is signed, given to the CA, then from the CA downloading it as a public key, and then LTM will then decrypt it as a private key.
Yep. And there are different cipher suits, and in Europe it is known as cipher
In
suites.
LTM, you had a thing called under the network, one of the tabs, you have the certificates like SSL client profile certificates sending requests, right? So you just give the CA and you import the CA through the F5. The CA will give you the public key, and then F5 will have the private key, and then it can decrypt it, and then you can read the decrypt it, and then you can have encrypted session, and you can read the data. That's it.
Yep. Okay, let us proceed further. If no questions, any other question, guys, from anyone? Jacob, are you speaking something? I can see you are unmuting yourself, but
Yes. Lambert just asked what I wanted to ask you about the private key and the public key. So I got it already.
Okay.
It's generated by the CA.
So from the US, same question. Huh?
Public key is generated by the CA, and the private key is generated by the LTM. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. So public key there, and then LTM will decrypt it, and then you can read the data. That's it.
I will say not only CSR, if you are generating through the LTM, you will be having the private key automatically. But let us say if you have some another team, generally those teams are known as PKI teams. I hope you have gone through in your interaction with these kind of teams. Even if they are generating the CSR, they will give you this private key. You need to import this private key along with the certificate.
Okay, so LTM already has a private key then?
No, if some another team is generating the CSR, then how LTM will be aware? Then this team will give you the private key through some kind of secure channel. Because if this private key is open to the public, it means that website is not secured.
But in this situation, we are using the LTM. So definitely, when we are creating a certificate signing request, we have to include the private key from the LTM.
That's true.
Okay. So PKI means somebody else is signing the CSR.
Any team. Maybe you can consider any team. Okay.
Any teams, not yourself, but any team. Any team can do the CSR.
Yeah.
And the PKI will give you the private key for the
if PKI team is generating the certificate, then yes.
So basically, what happens is that public key, private key is done, and then the LTM can then read the data. That's it, right? Decrypt it. So anybody can read the data, right? So somebody is watching a web application which is supported by HTTPS, right? Since LTM is doing the decryption, you can read the data of the web application, like let's say https://td.com or ut.com or whatever it is, right?
Okay.
So the guy can understand. He can see he can view the application through encryption, and you can see all the contents of the application. Like for example, like a banking website, right? td.com, Bank of Montreal, whatever it is, right? That's all.
Right.
Okay.
So first thing first, if I will talk about the traffic flow again, just try to understand it. I am repeating for you, Faisal, mainly because you are not aware about LTM. Rest people also, if you are aware, that is very good. If you are not, then it would be great for you as well to understand this point again. So whenever this PC wanted to go on a website, maybe abc.com, which is hosted over here. This is our F5. Okay, maybe let me take one more component this time, or maybe some more components. This is my PC going to the internet cloud. This is my data center. Into my data center, it is going to the iNet router. It is going to some of the firewall. Then it is going to the F5 WAF. then maybe eventually it is going to be some. Again, an important question with respect to your interview. Kindly do understand. There can be some scenarios when your website is public facing. Public facing means coming through the internet. Then your traffic or whatever your website is, maybe netminion.net, okay, which is hosting over this server. There can be more than one server, but I am just considering one server just for the simplicity sake. When you are typing the netminion.net, DNS will give an IP. That IP can be any, maybe 222.1.1.1. It is resolving with. It can be hosted on your firewall, 222.1.1.1. So your traffic will come to firewall. On firewall, there would be a destination NAT. So this firewall understand whenever any destination is coming with this particular IP, I need to send this traffic to F5 WAF, which has some kind of IP. Again, it can be public or private depending upon your environment, maybe 192.1.1.1. Okay. So again, it is going to the public IP. So it is going to 192.1.1.1. In turn, your F5 is sending to the server. Maybe your server has 172.16.1.1. The traffic is going to 172.16.1.1. Again, it is getting destination NAT. And when server is sending the response, it is sending to the F5 WAF. Through F5 WAF, it will go to the firewall. Through the firewall, it will go to the PC or client. But end to end, you can see there are lot of components can be in between. But usually when I will be creating any kind of, diagram, I will not consider any kind of public cloud, any kind of iNet routers, any kind of firewalls, or maybe any other things. If there is Arbor solution for DDoS or IPS IDS solution, I'm not considering anything in between. I'm just considering the client to the F5 WAF, from F5 WAF to the server. Okay. So these things I will get considered. So your traffic, you should be aware that first thing, when you are typing out for any of application, it means it will access the DNS. So DNS should be there. And for DNS, it can be firewall IP or it can be virtual server IP directly, which is configured on F5 LTE. This part is clear, guys. So your DNS part should be done. And if you see whatever application you go with, maybe if I will show you the command prompt, IP config /display DNS, you can see whatever I am accessing, I have the entry of the DNS record for each and every application. So if I am accessing maybe netminion.net, it is taking some time, but it is going to our website. And if I will check again the display entry, so you would be able to see that somewhere there would be NetMinion also, talk to is there, forts, SWA org, embedded, talk to, zoom in, zoom, whatever we are going with on this PC, we have each and every entry over there. Anything with netminion.net, Google is there. It should be there, long list. Maybe let me try to grab if I can find string netminion. Can you see there is a record name netminion.net? Okay, so whenever you are accessing any of the website, you should be aware that first question can be, okay, let me just stop this setup because we are not accessing these things currently. Why to waste the resources? You also please stop your devices if you are not working, otherwise your time will be keep on running. Okay, so first component of your application side, when you are accessing any of the application, the troubleshooting start with the DNS, either the DNS entry is correct or no. So if you have the firewall before your F5 WAF, or imperva solution maybe before the F5 WAF. Okay, so your DNS entry should be going to the imperva rather than coming to the F5 directly. Getting this point? Yes or no?
Yes, getting it.
Okay.
So what is imperva again?
Again, if you heard Vinod was talking about that he is working on the imperva. Imperva is the WAF again. Okay, different methods. NetMinion.net, Python, maybe search.html, module equal to 3. Just any URI I am giving, okay? Or maybe I will talk about URL components. Except, let me check who is my old student, Rizwan. Or maybe Vinod, if you've gone through the videos, you also. Except these two guys, please tell me what are the different components of this URL?
Sorry, are you asking me?
Maybe yeah, you can also tell. What are the different components?
Okay, we have host name, host, path, and the path and query. And both path and query is called URI.
Okay. Now, maybe someone else. Tell me.
Yeah, the first one is protocol. The host name.
No, Mukesh, you were in my LTM class. You are also not supposed to answer. Anybody else? So try to understand this part. This is also important with respect to your, when you are giving the protection. How I will let you know. But now, Mukesh, you can answer. Tell me.
Yeah, so this is the HTTP is the protocol.
So this is the protocol, and this can be HTTP and HTTPS. Yes, go ahead.
So this is the host name until .NET.
Whatever you receive it like that, abc.com, google.com, yahoo.com, or maybe any org, or maybe any other thing. Okay, this is known as hostname. Go ahead.
Yeah, from /Python to HTML, it should be URI path.
From here to here, not from here to here, but from here to here, this is the URI part.
URI. Yeah.
Okay. And when we talked about Python and search.html, this is known as file path. Okay. Yep. What's next?
Yeah, after question mark, it should be a query string.
Whatever come after question mark, it will be a query string, and query strings consist of two things. What are those? One is parameter and the value of that parameter. Here, if you see, parameter is module, value if you see is 3. In one URL, there can be multiple of parameters, and you won't believe ASM will check each and every parameter. Either it is coming to your URL, either it is coming to your body of your HTML request, either coming to be maybe any of the referrer header. It will use to keep on check each and every parameter. How we will be coming to that later on. Again, this is a descriptive class. I don't want to make it so much complex that you guys are not able to understand. I'm just giving an overview. So this part should be very clear. Okay, what is file type or what is file path? So file type is over here HTML. It can be JPG, it can be PNG, it can be any. Okay. Query string, after the question mark, whatever coming, query string. In query string, we have two components. One is your parameter, second is your value. Parameter and value can be 1, parameter and value can be 2, parameter and value can be 3. It can be static parameter, it can be dynamic parameter, it can be predefined parameter, it can be alphanumeric parameter. Okay, different type of parameter. Again, some advanced classes you need to wait for to understand about parameters. A separate class is there about each and every component, but currently I am just giving an overview. Okay, there is a class. There are a lot of classes. We need to learn about this.
So
Just I am
the
giving an overview.
DNS lookup is done on the F5 itself, right? Because if you go to facebook.com or google.com,
Why
DNS
F5?
lookup is done on the F5 itself.
No, on your client side, DNS lookup will be done. How client will be able to understand which IP I need to access with?
No, the resolving of DNS to IP addresses is done by the big IP, right?
That depends. Either you are using GTM, either you have some another DNS. Again, there is separate module. We cannot talk about that. But DNS entry should be there. You can think about that.
Right. So it could be a firewall. DNS entry could be a firewall. It could be a
Whatever.
GTM.
Either router, either DNS, maybe GTM module. Either anything.
GTM is mostly focused on DNS, right?
That's
GTM.
true. That's true.
Okay. And firewall also could be a DNS entry. Firewall could be.
Router could be, switch could be, even your modem could be. Okay, whatever modem you are using on your home from your ISP, it is also a DNS. If you see, let me show you. If you see over here, okay, IP config, you can see the default gateway is 1.1. This is the thing which is acting as a DNS, acting as a DHCP, acting as everything for my case. Okay, for your case, it is only your modem. Okay, that is separate thing. But any question from the URL part? If no, let me ask you one question. Anybody aware about API, or maybe not API only? I will be more specific. Anybody is aware about REST API?
Like a little bit application interface where we can do get, post, and put methods, use methods, and
What are
changes.
what are the methods you are talking? Okay, maybe let me ask. Are you guys aware about CRUD? So CRUD is a keyword to remember about that. Usually when you learn about REST API, okay, if you are working on automation, any one of you have heard about this word, definitely. If no, that is perfectly fine. CRUD is a keyword that where if we need to create something, we are using C. If you need to read about something, we are using read. If you need to update something, okay, maybe create means creating a new thing. Update means the thing is there, but you are updating it. Maybe modification, you can say. D means delete. If you are deleting something, that is D. So there are some keywords, okay, which is known as CRUD. And when we are talking about REST API, it means you are going through HTTP or HTTPS way. And when you are going through HTTP or HTTPS way, it means when you are creating something, you need to use post method. So post is the method in HTTP for creating something. Reading something, get method. Okay. Updating something, maybe put method, maybe patch method. There are some methods. Deleting something, there is a delete method. So this is something related to HTTP. If you haven't heard about it, maybe a little bit complex for you, but if you will, rewind this video again, okay, you will be able to understand more about this. Any question?
I thought these are HTTP methods.
Yes, these are HTTP methods. These are the HTTP methods. You are right, Jacob. Okay, but these HTTP methods can be used in the API also. So it's not limited to that you are using through the maybe browsers only. You can use it through the Postman. You can use it through maybe any other tool, Python or some other tools. Okay, so that is what we are talking about.
Right.
Any question?
What's the difference between just API and REST API?
API, if you have the unified API, maybe you are going through the SSH. Who knows? Any other protocol. REST API means through HTTP.
Okay, so API can be any protocol.
I will not say, but it is a big ship. If it is maybe if you are going through the SSH only, okay. So that is not a REST API. That is a form of API, but not the REST API.
Okay. So REST API is nothing but which only uses HTTP protocol.
That's
and
true.
HTTPS. Okay.
That's okay. If not have any issue, let me talk about a couple of the tools we can use. Okay, may or may not use over here. We can use Wireshark. If you are already have through the LTM classes, maybe we talked about the Wireshark over there, then definitely we need to use one more full proxy. Okay, this is again a full proxy. We need to stop the traffic before going to the WAF even, known as Fiddler. Again, a free tool. We need to download it on our management PC in our lab. I will tell you how, where, how we can use, how to use. Okay, lot of questions maybe. Please keep it with you. We will be talking about these things. Maybe you can just use the developer tool, okay, for your browsers. Okay, so these tools would be handy when we will be performing later on so much of the tasks. Okay, so this would be handy for you guys. Later on we will check about this, but before going ahead, let me ask one more basic question. Again, it is not ASM class today. I am just giving you the overview, and I need to bring you for that class. Maybe that class would be starting from next weekend, because tomorrow I need to go through the end-to-end lab also, so that everyone would be aware about the lab task and how to create your own lab. Okay, but before that, I am just giving you the building blocks. What is HTTP status code? Anyway, why we are talking about HTTP? Because ASM is working on HTTP and HTTPS.
The codes that we receive from the web servers in return, like when we do a get method, the response that we get, what we give is a request, and the response that we get is a in a format called status codes, and we have different 200.
Let me ask, 100 means
information.
100, 101, 102, 103, bit like that. Those are information. Right. What about 200?
Okay.
200, okay. Success.
Yeah.
Okay. What about 30x?
Redirection.
Redirection, but obvious. What about 40x?
Client error.
Side. Client side.
Client side error. If it is 404, means the page which he is finding out, usually you saw this kind of error, that request is not found.
Content not found, right? 404. Content not found.
Yep. There can be 403. It means he does not, or she's not allowed to go to that page. 407, some kind of authentication issue, a bit like that, client side error. Then 50x.
Server side error.
Server side. So these codes you guys able to see into your maybe what I say, into your office, and people can come to you that, okay, I am having 407 error maybe. So when you applied WAF, our issue started. Usually people, talk like that. So by checking out the code itself, that okay, it is 40x, it means this is again not a WAF issue. Okay, and you can say These are the standard codes. You can check on the Google, or maybe you can just give a Google page as well, link any of the link, that this is not our issue at all. So for troubleshooting, for interview, these questions are important. Again, basic things. Let me go proceed up. Understand the lab quickly. I hope lab I already gave you overview. Okay. And if not, maybe I will give you some overview with respect to the configuration tomorrow. Okay. How to configure end to end, that I will be giving you the overview tomorrow. Before that, let me ask, what is LTP? Local traffic policies. The guys who are aware about F5 LTM, I am looking for your answers.
Policy is nothing but built-in functionality, right?
Okay. What does that do? What does that mean?
You can do like URL redirect through policies.
So again, my question, let me more specific. Why we required LTPs? In which scenarios? What is the use case?
Policies, we can use it for different scenarios. One would be for redirection, one of the policy. And yeah, that's where I use policies. And there are different policies, and the policies can be applied even when we apply ASM. Even the policies comes into picture.
Okay, one link I am giving you. Okay, although that is out of scope, but just for the sake, I'm just giving you. I hope you guys should be having the access of YouTube. You are the part of our YouTube channel. If not, maybe please go to the NetMinion solutions, and there, if I will check where are the playlists, maybe I need to go there. Playlist F5 LTM. And if you see this video, let me give you the, please keep quiet. Let me just copy it. Introducing to the local traffic policies. Please go through these links. Okay. So Joya, I am forwarding to you. Please send this link to everyone. And I will request you, please go through the LTPs if you are not aware about LTPs. Okay. Those who are aware, well and good. If not, please go through that, because there I am explaining in bit detail. But today I am just giving you the overview, what is the LTP, so that you can have fair knowledge that what is the LTP, how does it work. Maybe a fair knowledge you should have before going ahead. It is required for your ASM.
Okay. So this is called local traffic policies, NetMinion on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, local traffic policies, NetMinion on YouTube then.
Right.
Okay.
You can just search from there. Okay. So local traffic policies, if you will talk about generally, if I will give you answer, it is nothing but it is a feature that provide a classic way to match your traffic rules, specify some actions. Maybe one of the action which Vinod, I hope you were saying that you are using the redirection, right? Who was saying? Vinod, you were saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. So any of the action can apply it. Like one of the action is redirection. But generally, I will say those people who don't like iRule much, okay, I will not say that it will remove all of the tasks from the iRules, but multiple of the tasks can be worked with the LTP, local traffic policies. Okay, iRule is syntax based. Again, bit like your languages. Okay, typical language, you should be aware about each and everything. LTP, bit like your GUI part. Okay, again, the link which I will share you. Okay, I will share with Joya also. She will be cascading with you all guys. So using GUI, you can just say that, okay, if this match, this should be the action. Using GUI, you are doing this kind of stuff. Tomorrow, I will be giving you the practical also. Don't worry. Today, I am just giving you the overview about policies. Tomorrow, I will be giving you the practical as well. Don't worry. I will be giving one of the practical. So you need to create a policy. Under the policy, you need to create some kind of rules. Okay, there you are matching some kind of condition. On the basis of that condition, you are performing the action. Why I am talking about this in ASM class? That is a question. And the answer is, in your virtual server, whenever you apply or associate a security policy, automatically, I'm sorry, LTP will create it. So one LTP get created automatically. What does that LTP say? That LTP says whenever traffic is coming to the virtual server, it should be going to the ASM security policy. Post that, it should go to the backend server. Again, as I'm telling you, tomorrow I will be talking about this in the practical way. Okay. Today, I'm just talking about the overview. Until tomorrow, this is your homework. Please go through the LTPs. If you are not aware about it, go through those videos. Okay. That is important video for you guys, if you are not aware about this picture. I will come later again tomorrow. Okay. And I will talk about this picture, what this picture means, and how ASM is working. So thank you, all of you. Today we will be wrapping it up 15 minutes prior to our timing. You can consider 10 minutes break also. We have not done. So 5 minutes before, I would say I am wrapping it up.